How's everybody doing? I know it's been a while, but I'm back. So let's talk about the Knicks. Last night, the Knicks pulled off easily their most impressive win of the season and probably one of their best playoff wins in terms of just quality of the win in the last who knows how long 20, 25 years. But before we get into that, I just want to say congratulations to my Knicks for beating the Pistons in 6 games. Should have been five, but whatever. That Pistons series, I give a lot of credit to the Detroit Pistons. Although they were a young team, they showed a lot of perseverance, and they were able to win 2 games at the Garden. Although the Knicks went 3-0 at the Pistons arena, I just want to say the Pistons were much better than I expected. Obviously, I knew they were a good team, but they showed a lot of fight. There was a lot of foul issues on both sides of the ball. One could say more so Detroit, but still a good young team, and they'll be good for quite a long time. Obviously, Jalen Brunson, Captain Clutch, with the game-winning three, a series-winning really three in Game 6 in Detroit. There's not enough I could say about Jalen Brunson except for he's just the most clutch player in the NBA, and that's why he won the Clutch Player of the Year award. There's nothing you could take away from the guy. That's who he is. Shout out Mikal Bridges, Game 6, 25 points. Shout out OG Anunoby throughout the series. Great defense. Came in clutch when he needed to. Karl Anthony Towns, he had a couple up and down games, but he was good. So shout out to him. Shout out to Mitchell Robinson. And Deuce McBride was bad in that series, but we'll talk about what he did last night against the Celtics. So, yeah, just the Knicks overall. I expected the Knicks to win that series. I believe I said 5 games. I think maybe I said 5 or 6. So there you go. Now, as it comes to the rest of the playoffs, obviously the Lakers lost their series. I underestimated the Timberwolves. I underestimated how good they were. Obviously, I knew that Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, specifically one of my guys, was going to be good. Although everyone doubted him, but yeah, the Lakers just didn't have a center, so that's whatever. Obviously, the Nuggets beat the Clippers. I may have said the Clippers, but the Nuggets winning is no surprise. Obviously, the Nuggets had a crazy win last night too that we could talk about. But let's just get into the Knicks real quick, and then we'll talk about the rest of the playoffs. The Knicks last night, honestly, when they were down by 20, I really thought it was over. I lost all hope. I was like, here goes the Knicks, just getting blown out by the Celtics again. And they were down by 20, more than halfway into the third quarter. And you could have told me that was it. And I would have thought they would have lost by a little more. But something just ignited a fire in the Knicks last night. Tom Thibodeau just did something. Who knows what he said during those timeouts. But yeah, I mean, Jalen Brunson just started to go on his runs. He got Al Horford on a bunch of switches, and he took advantage of that. Either he shot a three over Al Horford, he got an easy bucket, uh, you know, driving and kicking with his teammates, open threes from OG, open shots from Deuce McBride, who was incredible. 4 for 8 from the field, 3 for 6 from three. He was horrible in the Pistons series, so to see him have a great game one against the Celtics is just a very positive sign. I am of the belief that his groin injury was bothering him for sure, and I guess those 3 days off really helped. And he looks so much better. He looks more spry. He looks like he's ready to go. So just overall, the Knicks just had a crazy effort. Obviously, cutting down the lead, the Knicks went on a 31-11 run in the fourth quarter. Uh, yeah, and just having that kind of run against the defending champion Boston Celtics, just being able to come back down 20 uh, in the TD Garden in Boston, just proves a lot of positive signs for me for the Knicks. Obviously, I know the Celtics went 15 for 60 from three, and a lot of people will say, the Celtics won't miss that many threes again, which is true, but I'm not sure they're going to take that many threes again either. 63s is kind of a lot. And I'm not someone that believes like, oh, we should take less threes and more long mid ranges. There's no point in that, but maybe more paint touches for sure for the Celtics will come. But still, like the Knicks missed a lot of free throws. There was a lot of foul trouble early on. So as much as you could say the Celtics missed a lot of threes, the Knicks also did not play their best game until later on, fourth quarter and obviously the third quarter, and then obviously overtime wins. So but being down 20 and then having that last shot in fourth quarter where Jalen Brunson missed like an easy just floater, the shot that he makes 9 times out of 10. The game should have ended in regulation for the Knicks. No overtime should have happened, but the Knicks still persevered. That 5 minutes extra of overtime. A lot of a lot of critics will say, "Oh, the Knicks were probably too tired," but they showed their strength. They showed that they could win against the Celtics team. And obviously, I don't know if the Knicks are going to win this series. I hope so. I hope they do because obviously that is something I'd love to see because the Knicks obviously are my team. But do I think the Knicks are going to lose the next 4 games in a row? I would hope not. That would be embarrassing. Obviously, technically, it's possible, but I now have much more confidence in the Knicks than I did before the series began. If you would have asked me my prediction, I would have said Knicks in 7. Just because they're my team. But now with this win, I could see the Knicks winning this series. Just because you come back down 20, it shows that you can beat the team. It shows that it doesn't matter what happened in the regular season. If you lost to the Celtics every time, none of that matters anymore. This is a fresh slate, and the Knicks came out and they did what they needed to. Like, it's just overall just one of the best wins I've seen them have in a very long time. Might be the best win I've seen the Knicks have ever, honestly. Just in terms of the quality, the toughness of the win on the road against the defending champs. So yeah, I mean, there's not much more I can say about this team. We could talk about a little bit more about what happened against Detroit. I just want to say, Malik Beasley, you suck, and you talked way too much on social media. Obviously, Malik Beasley will never see this, but still, I think that it was hilarious that he was talking so much just to be so bad in that series and to drop the ball on the final possession of Game 6. And he wasn't that good, and he talked too much. Obviously, Cade Cunningham was great for Detroit. But other than that, really no one else did incredible. Tobias Harris was a lot better than I expected. Tim Hardaway Jr. was very on and off. And just overall, like the Pistons, just a group of guys outside of Kate Cunningham were not very consistent, so that's a problem for them. Jalen Duren was pretty good. Isaiah Stewart was hurt, but Paul Reed did a good job in his absence. Obviously, Jaden Ivey hadn't played since very early on in the season, so that doesn't factor into our series. I don't want to hear Pistons fans saying, if we had Jaden Ivey, you haven't had him in a very long time, so it doesn't matter. Actually, the Pistons record was better without Jaden Ivey. I understand that's because Asar Thompson came back and made the defense better, but whatever, man. Let's talk a little bit more about the rest of the playoffs. So, the Grizzlies and the Thunder, I don't even want to talk about because I knew the Thunder would win. I'm pretty sure I came on here and said the Thunder would win quite easily. Obviously, we touched upon the Lakers. The Nuggets beating the Clippers. I did want the Clippers to win that series, but like I said, I'm not surprised that the Nuggets won. They do have the best player in the world with a decent supporting cast. So their win last night, though, against the against the Thunder, where the Thunder just choked at the free throw line. Chet Holmgren missed 2 free throws, and then Russell Westbrook comes down and just throws it to Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon hits like a semi in transition three, and that's it. The game it's over. The Thunder choke. They give up home court advantage, and I still think the Thunder will win this series probably quite comfortably. But for the Nuggets to win this game shows that they could technically win this series. But I would still say the Thunder. Obviously, there are other playoff series where, like, the Bucks and Pacers. Obviously, prayers up to Damian Lillard. His ACL tear, or no, sorry, yeah, yes, his injury, yeah. Um, it's very unfortunate. Obviously, the Bucks, Giannis is probably gonna get out of there. It's unfortunate that the Bucks never got to see what Dame and Giannis would be like for a full playoff run, for even a full playoff series. But the Pacers now with the 1-0 series lead over Cleveland. Um, I don't know if the Cavs injuries are going to keep piling up. I see that Evan Mobley is questionable to play, DeAndre Hunter is questionable to play, and Darius Garland already has an injury. I think it's ridiculous that the Pacers get so much injury luck in the last 2 years, but whatever. I'm not here to, uh, try to say that the Pacers are getting any kind of advantage because technically injury luck is advantage, but you could say it's a part of basketball, so whatever. What am I going to say? But yeah, the Pacers handled the Bucks pretty easily. Obviously, the Cavs were going to handle the Miami Heat, who were the 10th seed originally, in a sweep. So there's nothing to talk about there. And yeah, I mean, all my other predictions, for the most part, you knew who was going to win the series in the East. Obviously, the Celtics were going to beat the Magic quite easily, like I said. I mean, it wasn't quite easily. There were definitely closer games, but winning in 5 games is more or less what I expected for the Celtics to do. The Magic are a good young up and coming team, but they just don't have any offense. So no one thought they were going to win that series. And yeah, outside of that, the conference finals potentially a fun matchup would be Knicks Pacers. Obviously, I'm not sure that's going to happen. In my perfect world, that would happen, and I think the Knicks would be able to beat the Pacers in a series, considering that we were beating them last year before all the injuries piled up. It would be a lifetime dream for the Knicks to go back to the finals for the first time in 26 years. I wasn't even alive. I wasn't even a thought yet, probably. So yeah, I mean, the Western Conference is also like pretty good. You know, it's just like a lot of matchups are just like two just really good teams. Like obviously the Nuggets, Thunder, the two MVP candidates. And then I didn't even talk about the Warriors beating the Rockets. I thought the Warriors were going to choke a 3-1 lead again, but the Warriors were just too good of an offense for the Rockets and just too experienced of a team. Shout out to the Rockets, but Jalen Green does suck, so I wonder if they're going to move off of him. I think they most likely will. But yeah, the Warriors, the Timberwolves will be a series. I think the Timberwolves will win that series. So let me say it here now. I would say the Timberwolves win in about 6 games, maybe 7. But I think the Timberwolves are just a better version of the Rockets. They're good defensively, while the offense is much, much better than the Rockets. So, yeah, I got the Wolves winning that series. I got Julius Randle showing out again. Julius Randle showing the world why he's a good player, and the doubt will finally disappear. And of course, Anthony Edwards, sorry, will do his thing. It will be a close series, but I do have the Wolves winning that series. I have the Thunder winning their series. I have my Knicks hopefully winning this series against Boston. I have the Pacers likely winning their series against Cleveland because of injuries. However, if the injuries do, slow down, the Cavs, if they get their guys back and they are healthy enough to play, I would have the Cavs winning that series. But for now, with the Cavs injuries, I got the Pacers. And yeah, so I got the Pacers, I got the Knicks. Hopefully, I have the Thunder, and I have the Timberwolves. So those will be my conference finals matchups in an ideal world. That's all I got for now, and thank you for watching, man.